So I should tell you how I got here. I drove. But I'm lucky to be here because security comes in, you know who it's for. So he's driving really fast, running really late. I could pull up behind his truck and was supposed to turn. Didn't turn. Finally, someone started getting out. Security, boom. Drove that way, drove around the block, came back, and I'm safe. Security comes in, it's good I went first. So anyway, let me have the ticket. So I was trying to think of what to talk about this evening. I've got a zillion poems, good, bad, indifferent. And instead of bringing the indifferent ones, I thought I would talk about what I'm interested in the poets themselves, and also you. What a funny crowd you are. And you'll see. But first I want to talk about another crowd, and it's a crowd that came out to a poetry reading in Iowa City for a guy named Robert Bly. Pretty well-known poet. You know. It was about 10 below this particular day in Iowa City. And so afterwards I wrote this. The poetry crowd. 22-year-old face like Zeffirelli's Juliet, with henna hair, full earth-tone red lips. Your eyes so quiet, your brain alight, watching Robert Bly read and sing his and Stafford's poetry. And another big, shaggy head, face thrust forward like a difficult cliff, that powerful body filled and held by Robert's words. You and many others in degrees of intensity, insight, and beautiful. More than the poet, I love the crowd, who, rather than doing prime time, beer, and phone calls, gathered at 6 below on a February night to hear somebody they never met lay it out in lines. It's you that I want to marry. It's you that I want as my friend. You who go to poetry readings, you are my gods. You are my intellectual deep women and men, sensitive, powerful, in love. You are the immigrants that I'm taking away with me to my planet of rough, sturdy fabric, nourishing soup and visible flowers of thought. When the spaceship lands for you, you'll know it by the sound it makes, like Robert Bly, mixing wind with notes from an ancient flute. I have a friend who's a poet. Her name is Nancy Berg. Some of you know Nancy.
Yeah.
Nancy is the daughter of a guy named Dave Berg, who, those of you who know Mad Magazine, remember Mad Magazine, know what an interesting childhood she had. Nancy, I have this little adoration relationship with her where I'm allowed to adore her. So recently I sent her some thing for like blissful joy, you know, which for her, just to even take that takes a big act of will, you know, the irony of taking blissful joy. So I wrote this, I asked her for her address to send her that little bottle, blissful joy. You know. So I wrote this after I got the address. It says, I got Nancy Berg's address. That is where her apartment, number 284 is. And now you know too. But she didn't say where she lives. Still, I have some ideas about it, since she is constantly leaving clues in the form of poems, a sort of energetic giggle, and multiple layered explanations. I'm not totally sure, but I think this is how to get there. First, you do more thinking and observing than most people. You have all kinds of history with a famous Mad Magazine employee. Then surround yourself with lost dolls, tchotchkes of various obscure but intense import. Then you acquire a tiny, quivering dog. Slather it with adoration, and soon there's some sense that you're either on the wrong planet or the wrong country, maybe both, since being yourself a work of art is not normally understood as a career option. You live in wonder and dress in antique laces and modern tights. When you pass the mirror, you are somewhat surprised to have a reflection. And you become the high priestess of a small but fervent army of idiosyncratic worshipers, some of them still living. So the reason I was late, in addition to my ongoing lateness, the late Paul Stokstad, they used to call me, one of my classes, I wrote something for you for tonight. So that's what I wanted to do. So this, I could have read this first, but I wanted to give you that entire context, but this is really the whole message. Okay? With it? Okay. Thank you for coming tonight. Considering that, you could have gone to Cedar Rapids, the movie version, the opening talk of the Eco Jam, or Romeo and Juliet. And should I mention the cold and wet you huddled up against walking to and from your car, or maybe all the way across campus? Still, I have to ask, what kind of person are you who gives up all that on a Friday night, and that a Friday night at home or the movies has for you, to sit and listen as poet after poet lines are spoken? All is revealed here tonight. You have come to witness and hear the words of the quiet sentinels, these poets, the Rustin Larsons riding into the night, observant and alone, Glenn Watt, building with his hands, yet saving precious moments, unique insights, Minka Passi, herself a poem of tenderness and clarity, Roger Pellizzari, still filled, transfixed with wonder, Leah Waller sharing from within, Tony Ellis filled with cosmic truth and light, Rolf Erickson bringing a message found in several otherwise ordinary moments, and Bill, how do I say his name? Bill Grazer, who works in the key room, yet emanates a wisdom from time spent opening other doors with other keys. You have come to hear these unusual angels who, among other people, live life, but also watch, weigh, examine, observe, and record. Perhaps there is a planet where they listen to ours, but only to the words found, examined, and put down on paper by these cultural recorders. And maybe you have come here tonight, the only witnesses to the true story of where we are and where we are to be.